Hello YouTube, some guy over 40 here coming back at you with another video. Today is the day we're going to try to pull the motor out and start installing the new aluminum intake. Plus we're going to check the gap with the new gapping tool. We're going to set that over here on the cardboard. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the motor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the 3mm screws, the motor mount screws. Take those off first. And of course, never fails, drop it on the ground first. Okay. I'm going to put the bolts in this magnetic tray I got from Harbor Freight. Okay. Where's the other one here? There it is. Get it out of there. Yeah, let's hope this does the trick. I haven't tried to start it since I've been real busy with work, and then building my daughter a cabinet for her spices. It goes between a wall and a refrigerator. Made it out of wood. Turned out pretty decent. Come to find out that the wall in her apartment is smaller at the bottom than it is at the top where I measured. So it's kind of a bum deal. It wouldn't fit in there like we were planning. So I think she's going to give it to her grandmother, which is great. You know, I'd love to see her grandmother get it. Well, back to this here. Well, that's how busy I've been. These long-winded bolts out. I figure I start with them. Oh boy. Here we go again, dropping another screw. I might as well just throw them onto the floor first. I think that helps out in the end with the frustration. Oh man, I tell you. Sucks getting old. Can't hold on to nothing. Come on, get out of there. Alright. It's coming. There, I didn't drop that one. Alright, now let's go ahead. I got the 4 motor mounts off. I gotta get this 2.5mm screw out that holds the roll cage. Here, let's get this. If you hear any talking in the background, it's my neighbors. They're outside. I was going to do it with the garage door down, but it gets pretty hot in here. Then I thought about turning on this fan, which is fairly loud, so I figured I'll forget it. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to pull off the gas lines. If I can get that baby off. Wow, that baby's on there. Holy shit. Yeah, she's on there. Yeah, we gotta do that. Man, that baby gets on there pretty good. Wow. So yeah. And then the dog barks. Wow, I cannot believe how tight those fuel lines are. I think I got that now. Yeah, got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push, I should push the gas out of the ball. There we go. Get that fuel out of there. Ugh. Little drippy mess. So now let's go ahead and get the exhaust taken off here at the mount. Like I said, with this new exhaust, I mean, it's pretty cool and all, but I thought when it said silenced pipe, it'd be a little bit more quieter than the stock. What was I wrong? It's a little louder than stock. Okay, let's try not to lose this lock washer. I got a billion of them just in case. Okay, so spin this around. Now we got to take off. Oh, we spin it back. We got to take off the carburetor linkage. This is what I bent severely that day trying to get that motor back in. I think it's a 2.0 grub screw. Let's make sure I got the right one. Yep. Oh, let's look up underneath here if you guys can see that. There it is. We loosen it up a little bit. Loosen it up like that. And there we go. We got it out. And what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can put it right back on. If I could see. There we go, it's back on. We're going to just snug it so we don't lose it. Hopefully I can sneak that back out of there. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and turn it around. Turn it back around. We're going to go ahead and loosen up the throttle linkage and the brake linkage here. Loosen all this back up to get it back out of there. There we go. This time I'm not going to lose that grub screw. I'll tighten them back down in there. And now we need, what is it, the 3mm? Yeah, 3mm. Again, to take off the cover for the differential. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put those bolts over here. And the one that's right here, it's a little bit difficult with the roll cage, but now with the motor loose, you can get it. Alright. We're almost there, guys. This is live action again. Nothing like a little bit of live action. Not staged at all. Not rehearsed. Nothing. Now this one's going to be a pain in the butt. I wonder if I have to take that exhaust off. I don't want to. So I don't want to break that seal. Holy smokes, I should use the wrench here, or the screwdriver. Power screwdriver, drill, whatever you want to call it. Wow, that baby is on there. Okay, so we got these out. And now I'm wondering if I can get this Allen wrench in there. Oh, cool, that is an Allen wrench, it works. Can I get that in there? I lift up a little bit. There we go. Broke it loose anyways. I know, I just don't want to take off that exhaust if I don't have to right now. It's not leaking, it's nice and tight. Wow, I tell you what, I'm going to use the drill. My hand is just aching. If I can find the drill now. There it is. Get the 3mm out. That's a lot quicker. A lot quicker. And we take that off. We got everything out, so it should just pop right off. And we, oh, yeah, I forgot the fail safe. We got to unplug that. There's a lot to it. That's for sure. Taking that motor out. You know. Now the cops. They're probably after me. You can't do that. Cops and I don't get along very good around here. They know me by name. I call them the town clowns. They don't like that. Okay. So we got the motor out. And there she sits. Yeah, she's a little dusty. Alright. So let me think of what we gotta do next. We do have to take this exhaust spring off. I don't know which way is the best way. I'm probably gonna lose it. Nope, good. We got that off. Now we can just take the pipe. Ugh. Take that off. And now I can check these screws. They're 4mm. Oh, brother. 4mm, where are you? That's the 5, I can tell that. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Oh man. I tell you, I was not prepared like I thought I was. Alright. Let's make sure she's tight a little bit. Oh yeah, she's nice and tight. Awesome. Now we take off the air filter. I highly recommend these outerwears. They're pretty neat. They do keep most of the dust out. Don't you hate that? You just think about, oh yeah, the blue. See, that's why I like everything color coded. I know exactly it's the 2.5mm. Take right off like that. Bam. There's the air filter, the K&N. And now we need the 3. There's the orange. See, that was on there pretty tight. Yeah, I had some people in the comments saying that I shouldn't have bought that aluminum intake because of vapor lock could happen with the cheap carburetors. I'm thinking, man, oh man, I just can't win. People tell me to do one thing, tell me another, and I'm not understanding people. Like I said, it's been a rear. Okay, we're at the rear here, so okay, this has been a real experience, put it that way. Now I need that special tool. See, look at the screws there. Look how oily that is on the gasket. That was really oily and nasty at the carburetor. So could that have been it? Could have been leaking fuel out of that. Who knows? It could be a billion one things. The gasket looks awesome. It's a steel reinforced gasket, and that thing was filthy as hell. Look at that. I don't know if that's any good or not. Okay, so we got that wiped off. And then the throttle adjustment, I had to adjust that thing up all the way to get that to work, to run, which is very, very odd. What is that? Is that a hole or what is that? No, it's a piece of dirt. Oh, that's all I need. Okay, so now we'll take off that plastic intake. Hopefully you guys can see. Well, that was fairly tight, not tight at all really. Let's see. Yeah, that was a little tug. I don't know, that could have been it, but might as well get it replaced. Like I said, I have not yet replaced this at all. This is the original one that came with the truck when I traded. My X-Max over there. I was so proud of that thing. I bought the first one when it first came out, you know. It was on back order and all that. Alright. And there's the gasket for the intake. That looks like you cannot reuse that for sure on that one. Alright. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that or not. Wipe that off clean. Looks pretty decent. But while we're at it, we might as well take off the this right here. Let me get my drill. Take off this roll cage. I'm going to call it a roll cage. Probably not that. Okay. Yeah, it is a 4 millimeter. There goes the roll cage. Because I'm really curious of this. Let me take this off. I'll do it by hand. Forget that. I tell you what, my hand's been killing me lately. Look how long-winded that is. There we go. Now I'll put that there. I guess we don't need to take off anything else for the time being. Now we have to take off these, which are, alright. I'm really curious to see if that gapping tool works. You know, it says it's for this motor and a different motor that starts with a Z. The Xeon or whatever. Alright, let's get this shit over here. Try to keep everything in order so I don't lose nothing. Knowing me, I'll lose something. Something always happens. Oh, that's a lot better. There's 1, 2. I'll keep the motor mount and everything right there. Take out the rest of these screws. I'm really curious about that gapping tool. Is it worth the $4.50 if you don't want no guesswork? Because it's made for these motors. Let's see. Okay, we're going to take this off, slide that. That looks fine. Okay. Well, that does look kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Wow. That might need adjustment. I don't know, because this is pretty paper thin. Take this lovely tool out of the package. Throw the garbage there. Okay. Let's take a gander of what we got. And looky here. it fits right in there nice and snug. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. It goes, it's tough to get in there, but it gets in there. Look at that. That's a perfect gapping right there. Perfect. Huh, boy, that was a good. That piece of cardboard is about the same as this gapping tool. Well, was that the $4.50 worth? Who knows? Alright, boy, look how dirty that exhaust is. I'm running only 2 tanks of fuel right there. Yuck. Alright, okay, now we're going to go back to the piston. You can see the piston head right there. Boy, there's a lot of... Boy, you can hear that. Listen to that. Yeah, there's a lot of compression right there. You can hear that sucking type of a noise. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this intake out. Now in my previous video I showed you the parts number. It's made for this one. Alright, there's another washer in there. Get out. I don't know if you need it or not. There we go. So, let's see what goes to what. It looks like the manifold goes which way now? There's a hole here and a hole here. Okay, so it goes like that on there, and there's a little hole on the carburetor, and it lines right up with that. Alright, we got it. Cool. So, that's telling me that it goes just like this. Alright, so. Okay, and again, this is my first time of doing this. And look at how thick that plastic is. Oh, it must go like this. Oh, it goes like this. Yeah, because that hole lines up in that groove. It's like so. So now to mount this, you need a washer, or a lock washer and a washer, right? Lock washers first, like that, and then the, like so. Okay, I just did, when I built that spice rack for my daughter, I did 16 bolts to mount the wheels on it. That's a lot. So I am lining up the hole with the gasket on the intake. So I did do that. I know there's going to be people in the comments when this thing doesn't run, because I can guarantee it probably won't run. I'm not even expecting it to run. My hopes are gone. I'm just going through the motions, put it that way. So now we need, what is that, a 4? I wonder if I should put some Loctite on that. Tell you what, let's put some Loctite on it. I don't know if you're supposed to, but if I just put a little bit on it, anything helps if I can find it. Oh man. Okay, the package is right here. But where's the actual Loctite? Not this one. Oh god. Where are you? Did I put it in here? No. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Is it here? Not there. Okay, we're still recording. This is embarrassing. Can't find the Loctite. Nice. No, I didn't put it in there. I think I would. Oh, man. Oh, there it is. Under a block of wood. Jeez. I tell you. Just not my day. So we're going to set the clutch on this before I forget. We'll go to 4. Now we're going to take one screw out. Whoa, yeah, right. We don't want that going down there. Thank God that turned. Alright. First, let's just do this here to get it all lined up. I like these screws better. So we'll just put one line of Loctite on there. Oh, that might be a little bit too much. There we go. Now we'll line this up and we'll go ahead and put it in there. Oh, I forgot to feed the bunny today. Got to feed that bunny for my daughter. Oh man. The people next door are really loud for some reason. It's usually not this way, especially when I'm filming. Alright, get this one out. I'm going to go ahead and put a nice line of Loctite on this. Just like that. We'll go ahead and put that in there. And they say if you're screwing in the metal, Loctite it. And guess what? I'm going to. And I'm just going to put them in by hand like that. Oh. Now, since I don't have, I'm not going to use that tool or the cordless drill. I'm just going to tighten them up like this. And one more time on this one. Oh, that makes me nervous. Because boy, I've over tightened quite a bit before in my day. There we go. That's going to be it. You know, plus it has the lock washers on it. So that should not come loose ever again. So now it has that nice gasket on it for the intake there. Everything looks decent. Everything's nice and snug. I can still see the piston in there. Now, this other gasket, you gotta line up the hole right here. And yes, I can see the hole through the gasket. The hole, and this little hole here is going in there. Alright, so now we wipe this off fairly decent. Yeah, there's really no play in this back and forth too bad. So hopefully this carburetor can last me a little bit. Okay, we're getting all that fuel out of there for a minute. I want to see something. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and mount this up. So I'm going to go ahead and push the screws through like this. That little hole is right down here. Now, should I Loctite these just a little bit? I'm going to. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright. I'll put that in. Make sure that's lined up the holes. Yep. And now we need the 3mm. I'm going to go ahead and get that started like that and screw that right in. I mean, it's a fairly easy job to do. You just got to make sure of everything and everything's nice and clean. It looks like it pushed it out a little bit. Like I said, I wish it was red, but that's alright. So we're going to go ahead and just give it a good snug. And a good snug there. Alright. Bammo. It's done. Get some of that. Put this cap back on. It's leaking all over the place. There. Everything is on there. Everything's ready to rock and roll. But it doesn't look like I'm going to start this in this video. I'm just going to go ahead and put everything back together. And then I'm going to wait for the next day to fire it up, because I'm not holding my breath at all. But I just want to show you one more time. This is the gauge that they gave me. Hopefully you can see this. It's really thin. Alright. And again, I hope you see this. I'm going to get some light here in the subject. I'm going to put this feeler gauge in there. Look at that. Nice and tight right there. If I could stick that in there with no problems. Bam. It's in there. We'll do the back one. I can't really see the back one. There it is. Now the back one, well, maybe I have to bring it over to the magnet. There we go. There it is. It's in there. It's in there. So there should be no problem with the gap. No problems whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the star bolts here. Make sure they're... Oh, see, they were a little loose. Not too bad though. Let's check the gap again just to make sure. See, it's in there. It's in there. Perfect. Perfect gap. I'll keep saying it. It's the perfect gap with that gapping tool from DDM. $4.50. Let's hope everything is cool. So I'm going to let all this Loctite jazz here seal up nice overnight and stuff before I even get this thing to start. So, yep. Then maybe in the next video, or maybe I should do it now, the settings of this high and low. Show you where I have it here. Let me get another screwdriver here. I have a long screwdriver right here. So we are on the high one, and we're going to count them in. We have 1 1/2 and 3/4. 1 3/4 where it was set, so we're going to do it again. Now we're going to count it out. We have 1 1/2 and 1/4. There's the 1 3/4 out for the high speed. Now the low speed, let's count that in. We're going to count 1 1/2. It was 1 1/2 out, so we're going to go ahead and count that out. Back out. We got 1 1/2. So right there is the needle settings for the high and low. High was a 1 3/4 turns out, and the low is 1 1/2 turns out. So I just want to let you know that in case anybody was wondering about that. Okay, good gap, good settings, good gaskets. Let's see. Alrighty guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this back together again. thanks for watching, and I really appreciate all the help that everybody's been giving me, all the support of, you know, help me try to do this, try to do that, buy this, you know. And again, I'm new at this hobby, and I love to stay at this hobby. But when frustration kicks in, the older you get, the frustration gets worse. Because, you know, gravity takes a hold of the screws out of your hands, and your hands hurt, and that's why my channel's called Some Guy Over 40, because I'm well over 40. So, alrighty guys, thanks for watching, and the next video will be soon. Talk to you again.